honestly don't know how I thought this anime could get any more degenerate than it already is, but yes, of course it has, and how baka of me to think it couldn't. Yes, boys and girls, we have more of the My Life as a Nukai-san's dog antics to discuss today, and it really has it all. It's spicy, scary, weirdly deep on an emotional level, and perhaps has gone a little too far for even us trash. Can't wait. Let's get it. So we're a third of the way through its anime adaptation, and rightly so, this show has had its mixed criticism. I think you either cringe real bad at how far out there it is and the boundaries that it dares to push way beyond, or you are like me and you know it's wrong. You know it is so wrong, but for some damned reason, you just can't get enough of it.
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
It's Japan at its crazy best, man, and it's just doing things that you really wouldn't expect to see. And I still honestly absolutely love this show. It has truly ruined me. So episodes 3 and 4 seemingly took everything we had already witnessed in its first 2 episodes and was like, bro, hold my beer. You know, we haven't even gotten started yet. Kid, you have no idea what you're in for, so just strap in. And it's literally that, you know, the lewd is excelled, the blatant putting its characters in positions where they can be, let's say, shown off is heightened. Karen herself has, in my opinion, gone into overload 3 times the crazy, 3 times the scary, and 3 times the lewd. But she is also very aware of her weird likes, I guess we could call it. So episode 3 picks up exactly where we left off in episode 2, where Pochita is trying to get Nekotani on his side so that he can somehow escape and return to his home. However, Nekotani is absolutely terrified of Pochita. She definitely doesn't seem to be a dog person at all. She's just absolutely terrified, bless her, and I have to say that she seems to be very, very kawaii here, man. Like, I can't wait to see more of her as the series progresses. Now, things seem to be pretty safe for work so far until the arrival of the centipede. Yes, Pochita is desperately trying to win Nekotani over by saving her from said centipede that has now latched onto her body. But this makes Nekotani freak out even more as she desperately tries to run away from Pochita. But in doing so, she of course trips and falls, which that's just such a classic anime trait, by the way. Running, tripping, falling. Every time. Anyway, she injures her knee, seemingly also briefly passing out. And now this anime knows exactly what it's doing here and takes full advantage of the situation. And, you know, the centipede of course knows where it wants to go, which is under her shirt. Now, Pochita, being the noble hero here, dives straight in to save the poor damsel in distress. It's a brief little scene here, but like I said, the show knows what it's doing here. And yeah, you fans watching the uncensored version certainly got to meet more of Nekotani than we thought we would at this point. Anyway, our hero Pochita saves her from the centipede, but Nekotani is still scared of him. So, as Pochita can't just speak to her, he has to instead use his actions to win her over. So what does he do? He begins to lick her wounded knee, which of course tickles Nekotani and sends her into a fit of hysterics. Seems like our boy is on the right path here, and then, oh my god, with absolute daggers, Karen stares on like, man, Nekotani is in trouble here. What is Karen going to do to her? Well, first she's going to satisfy her own crazy desires by smashing her own toe into the wall. Like, why? You've stubbed your toe before, right? That's a pain up there with the worst I have ever endured. And like Karen straight up, like she straight up inflicted this on herself just so she could have the dog lick her foot. She's just so far out there. Like, though I guess it is refreshing to see the dog licking her than Karen licking the dog, right? It was a turn of the tables moment, and I wasn't expecting that for sure. So, like, obviously, Pochita is scared for his very life here. He has, like, no choice but to lick her foot. And yeah, Karen totally reacted to this the way that we knew she would. Nekotani, however, can only look on in horror, and like, you just would, right? You've gone round to your mate's house to study and then you witnessed this. Like, how would you react? Well, the answer is that she has absolutely no time to react. Absolutely no time at all, as she is getting the full Karen and Nukai show here. First up, of course, was the glaring eyes. Next was a display of how far she'd go to fulfill her desires. To next up being the embodiment of pure evil, piercing poor Nekatani's very soul. Yeah, they've certainly amped up Karen's scary side here in this episode, and my god, I was actually fearing for Nekatani's life here. This girl is just so damn scary, man. Like, I secretly still dig her as my queen, but like, damn, I just felt so cold watching this scene. And then she did the really cute pouty face. I've never felt so confused in my own emotions as in that moment. And that's not even the end of it, the crazy snaps in Karen's mind and she goes full on Anna from the Shimonetta anime and desperately tries to get Pochita to go up her dress. Lucky dog. Pochita takes one for the team here, of course, and I'm still wondering how poor Nekatani must be feeling as this is going on. Honestly, I really don't know how I would react here. Anyway, Pochita being, very close to Karen at this point, it puts her in a much better mood, and Nekatani does have the balls to tease Karen by saying that she was just jealous of the dog. And she also remarks that Karen is capable of making those faces, which is something touched on in the next episode. Nekatani does eventually leave, and we see that some big progress has been made between her and Pochita, much, of course, to the dislike of Karen. Episode 3 then ends in the most oh my god way. So yeah, episode 4 begins with my girl cosplaying as a dog, and it's both weird and so beautiful at the same time. Honestly, my life has sprung into a huge downward spiral of degeneracy because of this show, and Karen dressed as a dog has ruined me even more, but it's so damn good, man. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you much of this due to the YouTube monetization rules, but believe me when I say it's the most beautiful scenes that I have ever witnessed. So Karen basically has this doggy translator that she hopes to understand Pochita's true feelings, but this thing is basically never going to work. Pochita knows this too, but he does bark into it regardless, and the words that it translates to literally KOR girl. It basically translates his declaration of love to, I'm not interested in humans who love cute poodles. Our girl is literally broken by this, but then she instantly snaps back into her weird, freaky ways. Noise. Karen is just next level when it comes to how thirsty she is, man. It's just so completely wild. Why do I like her? Now, we have all been caught in embarrassing situations before, It's something that's just inevitable. Those really cringy situations that will always replay in your mind just as you're all cozy and about to drift off into a beautiful sleep. Yeah, well, this kind of happens for Karen here, except we know she's mentally on another plane. So her mother walks in on her doing this doggy cosplay. Karen does have the serious eyes here for a second, and I did really wonder what she was going to do, but she responded brilliantly by saying, I'm doing push-ups. It was brilliant. So her mother, of course, brings up the obvious. In a dog suit, ? To which she does get embarrassed here, and she does take off the ears, but it was the removal of the tail that really caught me off guard here. It was a huge WTF moment, literally spitting my drink out of my mouth levels of bruh, what? She basically pulls the tail off, or, I should say out, if you know what I'm saying. Man. Damn. Karen is just such a naughty girl. I'm gonna say props to the mother though. She literally seems unfazed by this whole situation. So this is where the episode gets really deep. No pun intended on the tail moment, of course. So it seems Karen is all too aware that she is a little bit weird. She asks Pochita, is it weird to be into stuff most people wouldn't be into? And, usually I'm a full on no, you do you vibe. But her likes are, let's say, very questionable and illegal, right? Anyway, we get a bit of a flashback here. It takes us back to Pochita when he was a human who also felt weird for liking things that others wouldn't. He loved plants and gardening, but thought that others wouldn't get that as he was a boy. From this, we get this feeling that he was very much an outcast. He kept himself to himself because he didn't feel as confident like the other students. Now, none other than Karen shows up here, and he does refer to her as the Ice Queen, which is very interesting. We can see straight away that she looks completely different here to how she does with him when he is a dog. like not lewd way. So she starts talking to him about his love for gardening. Yeah, he asked her, if it was weird for a boy to love plants and gardening, and she told him that just because you're different doesn't mean you're weird. We find out that this was the encounter, the very moment that he developed feelings for Karen. And it's absolutely crazy to think that this lewd show has the capability to tackle such deep topics within it and like not feel like it's out of place. Also, we got to see this pink-haired chick in the flashback who knew Pochita when he was a human, and I believe she is the girl from the OP, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of her because she seems to have like a really bubbly personality. That, and I'm sure the show will lewd the hell out of her as well, right? Classic Inukai-san, right? So in the show, Pochita barks and the translator seemingly shows Karen something she wanted to hear, and we move on. However, in the manga, we of course get more of the doggy cosplay, and in true Inukai-san fashion, Pochita like licks Karen's belly, which has the obvious effects on her, and like the scene with the tail was also in this portion of the chapter. It was awesome. Give it a read. So back on track, Nekotani calls and asks Karen about a pen that she left at hers while they were studying, and she says that she should bring it over to her house so that they can study there. Oh, and to bring Pochita with her. Now, last scene of the episode shows Karen getting home late. Pochita has noticed that she has been getting home later than usual recently, but has, hatched a plan of escape when they go to Nekotani's place to study. They, of course, waste no time in showing off more of Karen. The classic way that the show does. Anyway, she undresses and she goes straight to sleep. So Pochita's plan is that he's going to order a parcel to Nekotani's house while they are there, and then as she answers the door, he'll make a run for it. However, he does need Karen's phone in order to order the package. And thus, of course, the show's brilliant antics. So first issue is that her phone is locked by fingerprint. Karen is of course a girl that tosses and turns in her sleep, and in doing so, she grabs Pochita. Now, he is smart here. In order to free himself, he plays to her lewd side by licking her hands. To which our girl is enjoying this way too much, of course. However, the plan does work here, and he manages to both free himself and unlock her phone, only to see that her phone's background is, one of the photos of him peeing from episode 2. Like, why, Karen, why is that your background? Karen, why? Like, we know you're really weird and out there, but like that picture? Why? She's just too crazy, man. But I still like her. Anyway, he manages to order the package and needs to delete her browser history so that she's unaware of his plan, only to find out that our girl has been working part-time jobs to pay for the things he needs. It's just so damn cute, man. Beneath it all, this girl really is such an angel. A dirty angel, mind you, but an angel nonetheless. Poor Pochita thinks to himself that, he's lucky that she cares for him so much, but she only cares for him so much because he's a dog. He thinks that when he does become human again, they'll go back to how distant they were before. He even questions if he should return to being a human again, but knows that he should. He feels like he can't keep going on like this, right? Kill a couple of episodes here and they certainly upped their game. Like, I know this isn't the most this show could do yet either, which is both terrifying and so damn exciting at the same time. What did you make of these last 2 episodes, and what have you made of the Inukai-san series so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, while you wait for the next video to drop, why not check out the video where I talked about my first impressions of the Inukai-san anime, as a lot of you seem to really enjoy that one. Very popular video indeed. But guys, as always, you take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Peace.